In Progress Book student information, school districts can use the Student Truancy and Excessive Absences Transfer option to report HB 410 events. Events for EMIS reporting are based on data from the attendance calculations for each district and from information entered on the Student Absence Intervention screen. The scenarios that need to be reported are when an absence plan is implemented, when a parent is notified of excessive absences, the student becomes habitually truant, and when the habitually truant student violates a court order. Let's take a look at the Student Absence Intervention screen and the scenarios that need to be reported. On the left-hand side of the screen, there is a box for current absence hours, and below it is a thresholds box. This gives you a quick visual if a student has crossed the excessive absences threshold, as the number of absences or truancies displays in red in the boxes. When you update the intervention with new dates for any of the scenarios, they will appear in the threshold summary box as soon as you click the Update Intervention button. In the middle of the page, there is a checklist called the District Responsibilities Checklist. This is an optional checklist based on HB 410 requirements to help keep districts stay on track when a student is habitually truant or excessively absent. No data is collected from this checklist for EMIS reporting. Click the boxes once items are completed and use the arrow next to the list to collapse it while you're working on the page. Below the District Responsibilities Checklist is the option to add people to the intervention team. This will appear only after you select the Create an Intervention button. You can add a staff member, parental contact, or other person, such as a truancy officer, to this intervention team. Be sure to add a title for each team member, as this will allow you to easily identify the members at a later date. The date that the team was created on and the date the plan was created are important, as these will be reported to EMIS. The Parent Involvement section will provide a list of contacts for the student that can be selected from the drop-down list. This information is used for the written notification that the district must provide to parents or guardians if the student has excessive absences. The dates will be reported anytime you select excessive truancy or the excessive absences options. Make notes in the text box for each attempt to reach the contacts and add as many contacts as you like. When you click the Update Intervention button, the information will populate in the Thresholds box, and you will receive a message at the top of the page letting you know that the information was successfully saved. There is a Print Letter option below the Current Absence Hours box, so you can print a preloaded letter to send to the parents or guardians. The Judicial Contacts tab is used when a habitually truant student violates a court order. Each involvement record of when the judicial contact is notified of the violation must be reported. The dates entered populates the Thresholds box once you click the Update Intervention button. Enter the name of the judicial contact and the date of contact, then select Violates a Court Order and Habitual Truancy. Because the student has crossed a habitual truancy threshold, the date of each judicial contact record entered with Violates a Court Order and Habitual Truancy selected is reported. You can make the status of the intervention open, completed, or canceled as needed. Once all the required dates have been entered into student information, you are ready to report the events. The Student Truancy and Excessive Absence FT records must be reported by traditional districts in the mid-year and end-of-year Student S collections and by SOES Community Schools in the End of the Year S collection. To create the transfer file needed to send all the records to the EMIS data collector, you must first have your district in context and navigate to Student Information, EMIS, Student Reporting Collection S screen. Select Transfer Student Data, click Next. Select Transfer Student Truancy and Excessive Absence FT. Select Flat File Transfer for Data Collector. Click Submit. The message, "The EMIS Data Collector jobs have been submitted," displays. To make sure your transfer completes successfully, click the gear icon in the upper right of the screen. Select Management. Click the job status for Dazzle, EMIS, Extract. Now the data has been transferred from Student Information to the data collector. You can transfer data as often as you want while the collection period is open.